park planning and holiday blog. And this blog is going to be March news, which will be in 2 parts because so much is happening.
Yeah.
Who knew that around the theme parks at the moment?
Such an exciting month.
After the vast amount of news we had in January.
And the small amount of
news in February. Didn't expect as much news in March.
And what's today? The 18th of March?
Yeah, today's the 18th of March. And there's so much, we are going to split this into 2. So you won't get any Marvel length movies again.
Yeah. So props to whoever sat for an hour and a half of us rambling on about January's news, but there was a ridiculous amount of news in January. So crazy amount of news in January.
So this first news blog will be about the Disney news, and that's the Orlando
Disney
parks,
World news,
with
with maybe a tiny bit of Hollywood Studios thrown in for good measure.
Yeah. So a lot has been happening.
Yeah. So I've got my glasses on because I have to read it. There's so much news, so there might be a bit of squinting. So apologies for those of us watching on YouTube. Right. So we lost epic Disney legend and Imagineer Rolly Crump this month. And if you don't know who Rolly Crump is, he is the man behind the Haunted Mansion.
My favourite ride.
So he was the grand old age of 93 and he worked for Disney since 1952. So for a Brian Adamsley long time.
Yes.
For people that aren't old enough to know that, Brian Adams had a #1 hit song for, I don't know, what felt like 7 years in the UK. So
I think it was 14 or 15 weeks.
Anyway, yeah. So he worked for Disney for what felt like forever. So he started off as an animator, an in-between animator, like drawing grass and stuff, colouring in between in the films. And he moved into Walt Disney Imagineering, which was known as WED, Walt Disney Engineering Department, I think it was known as. Someone will no doubt correct me in the comments for getting that wrong. He moved there in 1959 and he was instrumental in pretty much all the projects that went on with the World's Fair, which basically became the groundbreaking
California.
Yeah, the groundbreaking rides in California. Yeah. He left Disney for a while, went to Busch Gardens, came back to Disney in 1976, did a whole load of stuff revamping Epcot, and then finally retired in 1996. And he was rightly named Disney Legend. Put my teeth in. A Disney Legend in 2004. And if you've ever seen the Imagineering documentary on Disney Plus, Rolly is in it a lot.
Yeah.
Because he worked with Walt right at the beginning. He was instrumental in all the stuff around the World's Fair, Small World.
Yeah, I mean, they took it. It's a Small World was at the State Fair, World's Fair. And you know, I mean, the bloke is a legend. Yeah. You know, they are iconic rides that he worked on. You know, you can't imagine like Disneyland or Disney World without It's a Small World or Haunted Mansion.
And the Tiki Room.
I love the Tiki Room.
Yeah. So they used some of the animatronics and the ideas behind that they used in the original Abraham Lincoln, which then became the Hall of Presidents piece. They used that for the talking and singing birds because, you know, why not?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, so we lost him at the grand old age of 93 this month, so very sad. I really hope that they honour him in some way in the parks because it would be crazy for them not to.
Yeah.
So what else have we got on the go in Imagineering? Bruce Vaughan is back at Walt Disney Imagineering, returning as the Chief Creative Officer, which sounds like a very posh title. Just in time to start working on Pandora at Disneyland in Hollywood.
California.
Yeah, I meant California, not Hollywood.
It's because we've been talking about Universal Studios.
Yeah,
Hollywood.
it's all on the West Coast. I mean, it's only that small on the map, isn't it? Right? Come on, people, it's only that small on the map. They're practically next door to each other.
That's my reasoning.
Yeah, no. So Disney, the Royal Disney, are claiming that the Avatar experience promises to be as amazing at Anaheim as it is in the Animal Kingdom. Not quite sure how much space it's going to have because obviously Florida is vast.
Yeah, they haven't got much room to expand in.
No, so it made compact
California. So yeah,
but Imagineering know how to use the best amount of space in the small. I mean, they can jam stuff into small spaces. Look what they did to Hollywood Studios in Paris. It's the microscopic park. So yes, so their news of that breaking and them starting work on that. Don't know when they're going to start work on it, but that's going to be happening soon. Oh, this one pains me. The Galactic Star Cruiser. Can you say white elephant?
Good idea, badly executed.
Yes.
So I can say
Disney have announced they're reducing the number of voyages. I'm using Dr. Evil quotes for anyone that's not watching us on YouTube. Disney reducing the number of voyages from October 2023, and they have released a statement which reads as follows. I'm putting my best reading voice on now. You may notice the schedule has been modified to provide 2 voyages a week, except for holiday weeks where there may be 3 voyages. You read that, maybe 3. So might not be 3, maybe 3. Who knows? Depends on how busy they are, I suppose. We've been learning a lot during our first year of operation. I didn't have any idea it'd been in operation for a year.
Yeah, been a year.
And have adjusted voyage dates to meet the needs of our guests. So if you have no idea what this is, the Galactic Star Cruiser is a luxury immersive hotel experience.
Yeah, you have to book it for 2 nights. And within that time, you are fully contained within the Star Cruiser. And it's a very immersive, interactive experience. You can choose a role to play. They have cast members who play roles for both the like Alliance and like the Rebels and the Empire. And you can choose whether you want to be a goodie or a baddie, and they send you on quests and you have tasks and you have to interact with cast members to perform these tasks. And so it's very much very interactive, which isn't for everyone.
No.
I mean, the food, the theming of the food, they've done amazingly. The rooms look very basic.
Like a pod.
Look like a pod. They're not big.
Well, you're on a Starship Cruiser. They're not going to be big, are they?
No, but I mean, they look smaller than the rooms at Disney's budget hotels. You know, they look smaller than the rooms at All Star Music. And yet the cost of this is ridiculous. When it was first released, it was $5,000 for 2 people for 3 nights, 2 nights, 2 nights, 3 days. I mean, I know they've dropped it by a certain amount. I think they've taken it down to about $4,000 now.
Yeah.
Which is still a huge amount of money. It's huge.
Yeah. I mean, when we say luxury and immersive, it is really, it's like weighted on hand and foot luxury. Oh yeah, there's valets and things, you know, when you get a uniform to put on. Ooh, uniform. And you do quests and things, like you can do lightsaber training with remotes, like Luke does in episode 4.
You get lightsaber training. You get to go up on the bridge and fight a battle and drive the ship. The restaurants look stunning. You know, the restaurants and the food is constant. So it's a bit like being like, is it garden level, compass level, whichever level you're in. So it's like constant food, constant food and drink.
Good, but
it sounds good, but still not $2,000 per person.
An awful lot of money, which probably explains why not quite as popular as Disney hoped it'd be. Because yes, sci-fi fans, particularly Star Wars fans, we love this stuff. I mean, I would love this thing, but I am not paying that amount of money. That $5,000. That's 2 holidays for Sam and I to go to the States.
That's like 11 days, 12 days.
Yeah.
Price for 2
holidays. 2 nights.
Yeah. So you know, all of the blogs I've seen of it, it does look amazing. you know, you do get to do certain things. You get priority access into Galaxy's Edge for a few hours. I think it's like an morning or an afternoon. You get you get like priority entrance into Galaxy's Edge because you go like the back way in, and you know, and yes, it looks amazing, but no, I don't think it's the price amazing. I mean, there's no pool. It's basically got
in space. Can't be a pool. How would that work?
It's got gravity, otherwise you'd float around.
Sorry.
There's no outside areas.
Because you're on a spaceship.
Because you're on a spaceship. So it's basically got like a deluxe resort price tag for a value resort or less than value resort amenities.
Yeah, we were discussing earlier, weren't we? That it would be really cool if they opened it up for you to have, say, a cool dining experience on it.
Yeah, they put up a themed dining. So if they opened it up as a hotel, but then have like the themed dining that anyone could go to, I think that would be a good way for them to go with it, rather than abandon it completely.
I don't think they can abandon it completely, can they? Oh, no,
they
it's Disney, of course they could.
They could abandon it completely. I think if they made it like a themed dining and a resort, then I think that would work for them. But I don't think it can carry on with what it is.
No, and for all the hype when it was building up for it to be released, there's not really been that much news or stuff.
No, there was a lot of hype about it when it first, you know, and we were really excited to see, you know, we're huge Star Wars fans. I mean, I'm off to Star Wars Celebration in a couple of weeks' time, so she's not. So, you know, and yeah, you know, as Star Wars fans, we will pay for things that we want to do with Star Wars. I mean, the popularity of Galaxy's Edge shows you that there is the amount of Star Wars fans out there.
Yeah.
But I think they've just taken the wrong route with it. I think they've seriously taken the wrong route with it.
Yeah, but we've got Bob back now, so something awesome might happen.
Hopefully.
Right. So moving on before we go ranting about that. So I always forget his guy's name. Josh D'Amaro. Yeah, Josh D'Amaro, who's chief of Disney Parks Experiences and Products. So he's quite a big cheese.
Yes.
Quite a big cheese. Has said this week that TRON Light Cycle Run is the tip of the iceberg for future investments in Disney park projects, which is great news, because a couple of years ago there was no investment in any Disney park projects, and it was almost as though like they were just letting them the parks tick along again because of the pandemic and things. So he has said that that basically TRON is the beginning. Let's hope it's not the beginning at the end. No, TRON is the beginning. I'm not going to be a doom-monger. So back at the tail end of last year at D23, he spoke of some blue sky projects, I think is how they were described.
They were described as blue sky, which
blue sky projects
basically means it's ideas, they're batting around. There's no, it's, you know, doodles from the Imagineers. It's what the Imagineers would want to do if they got given free rein. They call them blue skies.
Yeah. So one of the big ones, which might, it's not big, one of the ones that might actually come to fruition is the Dino Land 3 retheme at Animal Kingdom, because it's a bit tired.
They've already dismantled most of it.
Yeah. It just looks like a bit like
a. And they're turning that into a Moana area. So that's what is planned for Dino Land.
Yeah, there was a large project called Beyond Big Thunder Mountain project.
Yes, which is the one we were excited about.
Which is to use some of the unused land in the north
behind Big Thunder Mountain.
Behind Big Thunder Mountain, there's a shed load of land there.
There's a lot of land.
There's a lot of land that's kind of kicking about in the park doing nothing, and they've got land outside the park.
Yes,
that has been earmarked for expansion. That's just doing nothing.
Yeah, I think they're expanding staff areas.
Yeah,
in that bit.
So,
but when they announced this beyond Big Thunder Mountain. I squeed, I jumped up and down, and immediately went, Shelley!
So the plan for this, because it's quite a big chunk of land, is for 3 mini lands.
Yes.
Based on Encanto.
Yeah.
Which has become mega. I mean, still need to bloody see it.
I haven't seen it either. I haven't seen
terrible,
Encanto
considering
yet.
we're massive Disney fans.
Yeah,
Right.
I haven't seen Encanto yet.
So Encanto, Coco, which is another really pop. Emily absolutely loves Coco. So she's shouting from the bedroom, I love Coco. And the most exciting piece is the Disney Villains Land, which got the biggest applause.
It did.
And this week, I'm kind of jumping ahead of the news a bit here, but this week, in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, I was trying to remember where it was. Entertainment Weekly, Imagineer Chris Beatty hints that the Villains Lands may be on the cards. They asked him about these Blue Sky projects, and he said the villains concept got a pretty good applause. That's got to be the biggest understatement of the century. Yeah. It was like standing ovation, screaming, clapping, cheering. It was. You know, like bringing the house down. And he said, we took note of how loud that applause was when we announced that. Oh, I'm going to swear here. No shit, Sherlock.
I mean, I watched a lot of blogs from it. I watched Nate Paging Mr. Morrow, and I watched Adam the Woo. And Adam was actually inside of the D23 presentation, and Nate was in a separate screening room.
Did he hear
the overflow? And you just heard the roar. And I think the villains are so underrepresented in the parks.
Yeah. Unless
it's Halloween or the Halloween party,
something special.
Yeah. So villains are the best characters. So yeah, we need the Villains Land, definitely. Yeah.
So going back to good old Josh. So he's recently been interviewed by the Orlando Business Journal. It's not the kind of place you'd expect to have come with massive amount of Disney news. No. He says Tron is the tip of the iceberg that's coming up, and we are just getting started. Oh, please, whatever deity you pray to, the maker, where our C-3PO is concerned, praise the maker, that maybe this is the start of bigger investment back in the parks.
Well, I mean, when you see what the likes of Shanghai and Hong Kong have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
although technically they're funded by outside people.
They're funded by outside people. That, I mean, obviously Shanghai had Tron first.
Yeah.
And they brought Tron over.
Which is not a complete. It's been tarted up's probably the wrong word. It's
modified.
Modified, yeah. It's been modernised slightly.
Yeah. So, but I mean, when you see what Shanghai has, then hopefully we start catching up a bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and I mean, it's all well and good, but the only official news coming out of Disney of stuff that's going on at the moment is obviously we've got the update with the Splash Mountain revamp to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which they are going great guns on.
That is going very quick.
Yeah, so
a lot quicker than I thought it would.
Well,
on past.
Well, I think that they've seen how fast Universal are working on Epic Universe. Which, to be fair, they've basically rattled up.
Oh, that's just going up so quick.
Which we'll come to.
Which we will come to.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway. So where did we get to? Oh, yeah. Splash Mountain revamp. Yeah. Yep. So, and obviously they've announced that they're going to put Pandora at Disneyland in Anaheim. But there hasn't been a lot of other news about potential new projects. Obviously, I know they're not going to like go promise us the world and give us a chip. But I think hopefully going forward that they'll leak more stuff to make it a bit more.
Well, you got D23 will be next year because it's every 2 years D23.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully come next year we might have a bit more concrete news on what's new in the parks.
Let's hope it just isn't a load of old waffle.
So we can keep our fingers crossed.
But then Disney were at South by Southwest, So if you see SXSW, that's what it means, South by Southwest, which is a big, it's a big, I don't know, conference is not the right word, showcase of stuff, and it's everything from independent movies to music. It's basically, there's no equivalent in the UK of it. But it's where people go to tell you what cool stuff they've got coming out. And he was on the stand with some of the guys from Imagineering, and then out pops this JUDY HOPPS prototype robot.
It roller skated.
And rolled out of the box and stood up.
Yes.
We'll post a link to the video in the show notes, but it was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I like looked at it, I thought, when like Sharon showed me the video, I was like, is that a person? Is it, you know, it's just doing things that you couldn't imagine an animatronic could do.
Yeah, and it's completely animatronic, no wires. It's like Pinocchio, it's got no strings.
Yeah.
It's literally, they programmed it to do something, and it was interacting with him. So he held his hands out to give it a hand up, and it took his hands and pulled itself up.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God.
It was amazing to me.
So we know Imagineering are, well, that's why they're called Imagineering, but that was unreal.
Technology is catching up with their ideas.
Yeah, which is great. So let's really hope that they come up with awesome stuff for us.
Yeah.
Selfishly.
Yes. We want stuff.
We want cool stuff, and we want it now. Yeah. Give us Dylan's lands, please.
Yeah. Please. Pretty please.
Yeah. So as much as I love them, I hate being critical, but it's all very well them talking about investment, but a vacation to Disney World needs to be affordable.
Yes.
So can we please keep it affordable? And not make things that are Galactic Star Cruiser pricing, please.
Yeah, we don't want that.
But the thing that worried me the most, sort of just before the pandemic hit and since it's been hit, is that prices have gone mental.
Yeah, gate prices. I said we're lucky in the UK that we get special offers on tickets.
Yeah.
But if you're going out and buying like a one-day ticket on the gate, it's ridiculous.
It's like nearly $200.
Yeah. Because they now have seasonal pricing as well, which goes obviously holiday seasons. I think it's something like $180.
And that's for a single park ticket.
That's for a single park. It's not including the park hopper. And yeah, they have made it so that the average family can't afford it,
which goes against everything Walt said that the parks should be affordable to everybody.
Yeah, and yeah, okay, we understand inflation, and we understand, you know, that prices do go up, but when they're going up above inflation and you're not seeing the investment in the park, that makes you wonder where the money's being spent.
But in positive news, they have announced some lower tier pricing at Disneyland and Anaheim.
Yes, yeah. They're really working on Anaheim now. So
thanks, Bob.
Hopefully it carries over.
Yeah. What other good news that's not park news? So another good park news, the trailer for that live action Little Mermaid dropped last week, I think it is. And to be honest, I've been a bit meh about the Little Mermaid before I saw the trailer. Since I've seen the trailer, I'm like, oh, actually, that looks really quite good.
I'm excited for Ursula.
Straight for the villain.
Straight for the villain. I am excited for Ursula.
I'll get a bit. Ooh, why are they live actioning? I get why they're doing it, because they're releasing it to a whole new audience, and for kids now that are used to Pixar-esque imagination, illustrations and animation. That
have you seen Buzz? The Buzz Lightyear film.
No.
It's awesome.
Oh, I really want to watch that.
The Buzz Lightyear film is brilliant.
And then when you look at things like Avatar, where you cannot tell that the Na'vi are not actual real characters because it looks so real. So, right, I'm going to get to it. So I think that if kids today watch that Disney animated films, even from the Renaissance awesome era, like The Lion King and Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast, they might look at it and go, "Oh,
It's a cartoon.
that's not very good imagination." No, doing it again. That's not very good animation. I feel like I need to be like Darla out finding Nemo from the Amazon animation. Yeah. So maybe the reimagining the films as live action will encourage kids to go and look at the classic animated version. I don't know. I quite like some of the live action movies they've done. I like the Maleficent ones, but they're not remakes.
They're not remakes.
They're prequels.
Beauty and the Beast was okay.
Yeah, it was alright. I don't think people should have slated
Emma Watson as much as they did.
Yeah, Hermione, I thought she did a really good job.
Yeah,
I haven't watched Aladdin because the genie to me is Robin Williams, and as much as I love Will Smith,
I think I watched 10 minutes of Aladdin and I just like, I can't. The genie is Robin Williams.
Yeah. Sorry, Will Smith. You're awesome.
Will Smith, you're awesome, but
You're
the
not Robin
genie
Williams.
will always be Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the Jungle Book.
Oh, I quite
live
enjoyed
action.
that.
I haven't seen that. And yeah, I wasn't overawed to watch The Little Mermaid until I saw the trailer.
Yeah, very meh about it. I was like, oh, I don't know what all the fuss is about. There's
Yeah.
a lot of hoo-ha about the, oh, well, the mermaid should be a little white girl. Beep, 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 beep. No, it doesn't matter. She's a mermaid. It doesn't matter what colour, flavour fish she is. She's just a fish.
I haven't seen the live action of Mulan either.
Haven't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think because obviously we grew up with the traditional animated films, and you know they'll always hold a place in my heart. Will be the traditional animated ones.
Some more than others.
Yeah. Then it's I suppose it's what you're used to and what you grow up with. And
Fussed on the Lion King. Don't know what I like the Lion King. I don't know what the fuss was about.
What, the live one, was it?
No, they're just the standard animated one.
Yeah, right. Okay. It's you've just got the hyenas.
Oh yeah, I like them.
Hyenas and Timon and Pumbaa.
Scar's my favourite.
I know Scar's your favourite. But you've got Timon and Pumbaa and the hyenas.
Yeah, okay.
And the ostrich bums.
It's all right. Okay, all right. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I will reserve judgment.
Trailer looks good though.
Trailer does look good, but I will reserve judgment.
And they're singing in it, which is great because sometimes when they remake them into live actions, they're not musicals anymore.
Yeah, yeah, and that's part of the.
You can't have the Little Mermaid without singing.
Well, that was part of the whole
exactly
thing
she sings.
Of yeah, with the Little Mermaid, exactly, it's part of the thing she sings. But even with the likes of the Jungle Book, you know, the songs gave it personality, and where would we be without the bare necessities? And King of the Swimmers, yeah, you know, they're classics.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll watch The Little Mermaid and we'll let you know whether we like it or
not. We will review The Little Mermaid when it comes out.
And it'll be like, oh, it's quite good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But we do like a villain. So
we do like a villain. Ursula, yeah.
She got a little eel, so she got Flotsam and Jetsam with her.
Yeah, I think she has.
Oh, cool. I like them too.
And it's one of my favourite comedy actresses as well. Who's playing Ursula, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, it's about as exciting as we can get.
Yeah. But the thing is, I mean, if you know, the original Ursula was based on the drag queen Divine.
Yes.
So you know, it's big shoes to fill.
Very big shoes to fill.
So we'll be interested.
Yep. But yeah, it looks good. So we'll see. And I'm not meh about it anymore. In hotel news, Beach Club Villas refurbishment is going to be continuing until late this year. Could be as late as August, or the fall for you American types, or the autumn for the rest of the world. So, I mean, you know, if you're staying in a Beach Club Villa, it might disturb your holiday a bit, or you might hear a bit of noise, but they do try to keep noise down to a minimum when they're refurbing hotels, so not disturb your awesome holiday. But then you should be in the bloody park, not in your hotel. So Unless you're sleeping, which they're not going to be refurbing at the middle of the night, then you shouldn't
hope
really
not.
bother you. Yeah. Right, park news, there's an awful lot of it. Well, not quite as much as there was in January, but quite a lot.
Yeah. Go on.
What? Because it's my favourite.
Yes.
So, The Mandalorian and Grogu, not Baby Yoda, are staying at Hollywood Studios as a meet and greet, which has been so popular since they rolled him out when the premiere of The Mandalorian came out nearly 4 weeks ago. I'm just trying to work out when it was. I was counting how many episodes I watched. Yeah, so they will be staying, and what's he meet? He meets in Galaxy's Edge, but I don't know whereabouts in Galaxy's Edge. Does he float? I've seen him wandering about in all the videos that I've seen. He's kind of drifting, but he does do a meet and greet, and Grogu does move.
Grogu's in his little sack.
His little Grogu pouch.
Little Grogu pouch.
Yeah, and he does move, but it's great that he's staying. So
yeah, it's not just for a couple of weeks.
Grogu is for life, not just for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else have we got? More previews. More previews of Tron ahead of its launch. Like literally launch, because it does look like it goes like a bullet out of a gun when it launches. It's been occurring all month with annual pass previews selling out. They're not, obviously don't have to pay for them, but they're selling out in minutes. So lots of people have been lucky to snag them. It's also been announced this week that the post-ride experience of Team Green, as the attraction is sponsored by Enterprise, who shockingly enough's colour is green. It's no big surprise. But there's going to be sort of like a photo op with a green light cycle. It makes revvy engine noises. It looks amazingly cool. So you can go and have your photo taken with an awesome light cycle.
They also announced a soft opening, didn't they?
They did announce a soft opening.
So ahead of the 4th of April launch, they will be doing soft openings. So it'll be open randomly for the public to ride. Yeah.
So between the 20th of May to the 2nd of April. Obviously not the 3rd of April because they'll be prepping it.
20th of March, not May.
Oh, I meant March because it's opening in April. Muppet. Don't know which Muppet I am. Beaker probably. Yeah. So 20th of March. It began with an M. I was close.
Yep. Your Swedish fish fixation.
Oh, do you know what? I wrote this when I'd eaten half a bag of Swedish fish, which is probably why I've got a bit of a thing about Swedish fish. Yeah, so if you want to book Tron on its soft opening, you have to do it through the My Disney Experience app. And it will only be available for you to do it once a day, so you can't be clever and try and ride it twice. 2 opportunities to join the queue, 7 AM and lunchtime, 1 PM, I think.
1 PM, yeah, normally.
So 7 AM, you have to have a MK park booking to do it, and at 1 PM, you have to be in the park. So if you've hopped to the park, can you hop to the park before 1 now?
No.
So why did that? Oh, for annual pass holders, that'll be why. It's like, why did they say that? Because annual pass holders can hop before.
Not in Florida, they can't. It's only in Disneyland, California. They can hop at 11.
Oh, I thought they'd moved that to Florida.
No.
Oh, they're going to, but not yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know why it says that you have to be in the park at 1 PM. So anyway, you have to be in the park if you want to book it. And from the 5th of April, once it's opened, there's going to open another slot at 6 PM.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And if you're staying in a selected Disney hotel, i.e. an expensive one,
deluxe,
you don't need to be in the park to book it. You can book it from your hotel and then come to the park to ride it. And thanks to Scott Guston, who tweeted this, because he's another stalker when it comes to things to do with all the parks, and he dropped this with a little bomb a couple of days ago. What else have we got? Tron news. There's all the merch is starting to be publicised.
Yes.
There's lots of merch, lots and lots of merch.
Lots.
Everything from t-shirts to toys, including having your face put on your own doll.
You can be your own minifigure.
Yes, you can be your own minifigure. It's bloody brilliant. And it comes in the coolest box that looks like an arcade machine. It's just amazing. There's bags. There's anything.
You can see where Sharon's going to be in February.
I really like Tron. Tron. How old was I when Tron came out? 11. Original first Tron.
But there
and
is
I was blown away.
there is
by it.
rumour of them making a third Tron film.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
There's rumours.
I really like Tron Legacy as well. I thought they were going to butcher that, and I thought, oh no, they're making another Tron film. They can't make anything as possibly as good as the first Tron film. And then it was just as good as the first Tron film, because who doesn't like a bit of Daft Punk?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that all the Tron news?
No, there's more Tron news. So the Tomorrowland Light and Power Company gift shop is going to be renamed to the Tomorrowland Launch Depot, and
that's the gift shop that's attached to Space Mountain.
Yeah. So there will be a Tron exit experience, but most of the merch is going to be in. I'm pointing at the shop, but
the Space
Mountain shop. Yeah. And there's also a new, in Sam's favourite thing, there's a new snack cart which is selling Tron gifts.
I got excited when I saw this.
Of course you did. It's snack and food related.
But it's also one of my favourite snacks.
Yeah. So they're going to be offering breakfast items. What I don't know, Tron breakfast items are going to be offering.
No, I didn't see the breakfast items.
I only saw the dumplings. Breakfast items. And so savoury snacks, sweet treats and beverages. So there's a very cool looking, is it a milkshake or is it a smoothie?
I'm not sure it's a smoothie or an icy. It's like I think it's a smoothie. But it was the dumplings I got excited about.
As soon as you saw the dumplings, you were like, oh, yeah. Dumplings.
I was like, dumplings.
Yes, and it's going to be called Energy Bites. Bites spelt the way that they computer bites with a Y, not bites like bites.
Yeah, again, it's something different. It's it's reminds me of a food festival booth.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got off of it.
Yeah, it reminds me of a food festival booth rather than like the launching pad.
Yeah, like a snack.
Which done like popcorn and Mickey premium bars and pretzels.
And this is a new snack location, not repurposing one that already is there.
Yeah, it's brand new.
So it's not going to replace anything. So all the other snacks are still going to be there. Yeah, snacks. Not that we're obsessed with things like that. There's some pics and write-ups of what we can expect for food over at Attractions Magazine, and of course we'll put a link in the show notes, and Sam can oogle, whatever the word is when you look at stuff a lot. Drool. That's Malmy, isn't it? Over the dumplings.
They've got two types of dumplings. There are buffalo chicken dumplings, and then there was a beef one as well. So two different types.
Are we going to have to try both of them?
Yes.
Oh, of course. Okay. I don't even know why else that was a stupid thing to say.
Quality control. You got to.
As you do. What other news have we got going on in the parks? Epcot. Oh yes, Epcot. So Epcot is going to host the Disney 100 celebrations later this year. Yeah. And I'm sure they're going to do other stuff in the other parks, but Epcot's going to be the main place that they celebrate, isn't it?
So, I think it's about time that obviously Disneyland California has had the main 100, and I think that is because Magic Kingdom or Walt Disney World was still celebrating its 50th.
Yeah.
So I think they've had to wait for that to finish before they can bring. And Epcot was 40 last year, so that's only just finished its 40th celebrations. So I think they were waiting for them to finish before they brought the 100th over.
Yeah, but the cool thing about that means that we'll get a new nighttime spectacular show at Epcot without the bloody barges. Yeah, so there'll be a new night lighttime extravaganza, which there's not a lot of news about other than it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, they're keeping that one very quiet. That's being kept under wraps.
Yeah.
So that'll be exciting to see, because they're always good.
This made me chuckle. Sorry. Another Epcot news. The classic, which I've never seen. Have you ever seen it?
What?
The Impressions de France.
No.
The Impressions de France show in Epcot, shockingly enough, French Pavilion, which is,
it's a 360.
That's the one.
360 screen.
360 screen.
She hasn't got me about my gestures.
Yeah, so it's a 360 to screen cinematic awesomeness. So yeah, it's a bit of a classic. Really should see it. We need to go and see it now to see what the bloody.
I've seen the China one.
Yeah, well, this is not the China one. That
No, I've seen the China one.
Yeah.
I've not seen the French one. The Canada one's meant to be very good as well. So.
Oh, well, we know what we're doing when we go to.
We need to do the little like show things.
Yeah. So anyway, so Impressions of France, which is a complete classic. They've reduced the shows. So when I originally started compiling the news earlier in the month, the show could only be seen at 9 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. because it shares a theatre with the Beauty and Beast sing-along show, which was running between 10 a.m. and 8:45 p.m. But since this has been announced, there has been a massive uproar from
the public,
from people that are going, you can't do that. It's a classic. I turned up to see the show and it wasn't there, so they put extra shows back on. So now, if you want to see the Impressions de France, excuse my French accent. The bloke I work with is French. He'll kill me if he hears me say that. They've started putting later showings on as well, so there will not be an uproar anymore. I just love the fact that people kicked up a fuss about it.
They brought it back.
Yeah, and they brought it back. So it appears to fall into the plan about updating Epcot, because they're doing so much work to Epcot at the moment, because Epcot was a bit of an unloved park, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, Epcot's my favourite park. And now everything's been updated. I mean, there's so much work been going on there.
Yeah.
And they've released now about the different places that are opening, and you know, and it's going to be a permanent exhibition centre.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting to see how it's going to change and what it's going to look like without the walls that have been there for so long.
Yeah, because is it the Moana walkthrough?
Yeah, Moana, is it something water?
Oh yeah, the water. Yeah,
yeah.
It's basically a walkthrough.
Yeah, it's like a garden walkthrough.
Yeah, looks amazing from the art and from the aerial photos that we've seen.
Yeah, from the
good old bio reconstruct
aerial footage.
Yeah, so glad he's out of hospital. Yeah, so it looks as though they're doing so much now, and obviously there's we spoke about it on the last news with the new character Meat Spot's going to be there. There's going to be a new Figment Meat Spot there. There's going to be a stage there for outside production. So there's lots going on in that part of the park, which is brilliant. So it's really good that they're doing so much to Epcot. Where we Splash Mountain. Oh yeah, we spoke briefly about Splash Mountain. I must stop calling it Splash Mountain. It's not Splash Mountain anymore.
Tiana's
Bayou Adventure. Yeah, I love it when you get it wrong.
Yeah. Tiana's bit.
Yeah. So scaffolding all over the gaff, as we Brits like to say. Loads of heavy construction noise has been coming, and if you ride the Walt Disney World Railway, you can hear it.
Yeah, and they've actually, because you used to have a window, because you went like behind and just through Splash Mountain, and you had a window that you could see into Splash Mountain. That's now covered, so yes, you can't peek.
Can't sneak peek what they're doing.
You can't peek. But the crane appeared very quickly. I think it was within like 48 hours of Splash Mountain closing. There was the crane there.
They've done so much. They've ripped out all the briar patch at the front of the ride.
Yeah, that's all gone. There's holes everywhere now within the actual mountain structure. So yeah, it's moving quickly.
It's the fastest like moving. I mean, I know they let you look at what they're doing on the outside. Obviously, you can't see what they're doing on the inside. But it's going to be really interesting to
externally see. It looks to be.
I might have to ride it again, even though I will absolutely cack my pants going down the drop.
It's a great drop.
It's not a great drop. It's like 700 feet.
It's brilliant.
Don't do that, guy.
And I'll make you do the front, don't I?
The one and only time I rode Splash Mountain, I was on the second row, and I felt like I had to apologise to the people in front of me because I was going to scream like a small child the entire time round, the droppy bit.
You were like that on Big Thunder Mountain for the first 2 years.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So there is a good chance that it might be completed on time. Hooray!
Hope so.
Which will be great, considering they're doing the one at Anaheim at the same time.
Yes, yeah.
So they're both supposed to be opening at the same time.
Yeah, and Anaheim closed after
Yeah.
Florida, so
Yeah, it'd be good to see how it's coming along. Oh, I'm hoping we'll get some more pictures soon.
I mean, I do love Princess and the Frog film.
I do.
It's got one of the best villains in it. It's Dr. Facilier.
Oh, he's just
The music is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like the film score. So yeah.
And it's such a fantastic story. I love the way they hate each other at the beginning.
Yeah. So yeah, I am excited about it. As much as I loved Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
If they do this right, then I think it can be good.
And I'm sure, as there always is with these kind of things, there'll be some Easter eggs thrown back to the original ride that was there.
Definitely.
There will be somethings there that will.
Even if they keep the crows.
Yeah, you and your bloody crows.
I like the crows.
You love a crow, don't you?
I do love the crow.
Yeah. So yeah, hoping there'll be more pictures soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully we can see
what's going on. So what else have we been going?
And we will go and have a peek next February.
Yeah, we can. We can go and have a peek.
Go and have a peek.
Because they like to leave a little window, don't they?
Yeah.
The Imagineers do like to leave a little window so you can see what they're doing. Or we'll wait till Bio's back up in the air with his little drone.
Yeah, but we can go and have a live peek.
We'll have a live peek too. Yeah. So what else have we had going on? We've also had tests running for the Happily Ever After Park closing show, which I can't remember if I've seen that one or not.
I have seen it. I think we saw it in 2016. That was the last one we saw. Or yeah, because the last one I saw in 2019 was the Christmas party one.
Yeah, which is different.
Yeah. But Tinkerbell flies.
Tinkerbell does fly, and it looks bloody brilliant. And they've been testing it at 1:30 in the morning, which they'd never be able to get away with in Paris. And there were some lovely videos that I've seen, and it looks just as fantastic as it always did.
Yeah, and they did a cast member preview as well, and I watched someone's cast, and the build up to when Tinkerbell flies in Happily Ever After, it just brought goosebumps. It's like that build up to when Tinkerbell flies is like chilling. It's lovely.
Yeah.
So yeah, can't wait to see that next year.
A permit's also been filed for work on the castle, which we assume is to remove all the 50th anniversary stuff. Don't know whether they'll put 100th anniversary stuff up.
Might do.
Seems a bit of a waste if they're taking stuff down. They might as well put new stuff up at the
same
time.
There? Yeah. While they're there, just put new stuff up. But please, can we have the castle lights back at Christmas, Disney? Want the twinkly castle lights back up at Christmas? Didn't have them this year.
Why not?
Because of the 50th. Couldn't have it.
What, can you not have two sets of lights up at the same time? Speaking
No.
of bloody castle.
No, the decorations interfered with the placements of the castle, twinkling lights. So yeah, so now that's gone. Can we have our Christmas lights back, please?
Yeah. Still gutted we missed the 50th anniversary.
I know.
Because we were supposed to spend our 50th.
We were meant to spend our 50th because we were both late 1970, mid 71, and obviously Walt Disney World opened in October 71. And we were meant to go for our 50th birthdays. That was the plan.
Technically, we'd both be 50 when Magic Kingdom was 50.
So that was the plan, and obviously then the world got in the way.
Zombie apocalypse.
The plague. And so obviously next year we've decided to go for a late 50th.
Be very bloody late.
It will be late, yeah. Yeah, 2 years late.
Nearly 3. Actually, it'll be nearly 4.
So yeah, we're going out to celebrate our 50th in style.
Yes, we'll pretend it's 50, even though we're nearly 4 years late.
Yeah, but there's nothing we can do about that. So,
so last but no means least on this month's Walt Disney World news is more meet and greet news. So from the top, we have Moana will be greeting in the Magic Kingdom from the 22nd of April. Not sure where. Obviously in the park somewhere.
Might help.
Yeah, but there's lots of places. There's a few characters in Animal Kingdom, but a few more wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, Animal Kingdom is getting the forgotten park again.
Yeah,
They've like done Pandora, and then that's it.
yeah, not done anything else. No,
It's getting a bit.
Rivers of Light. It's not back on, is it?
No, Rivers of Light isn't on. Kite Towers has gone, which was worth it for the comedy value alone. So yeah, it's getting a bit to be like the forgotten park. They've done Pandora, which is still very, very popular. You know, you still get the 2-hour queues. But then the rest of the park seems to have gone, oh well, we've done that now.
Well, maybe the revamp of Dino Land might give it a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, hopefully, you know.
Maybe.
And yeah, I mean, the more characters they can get in there, the better, really. So yeah.
What other character news we got? Oh, Figment will be meeting and greeting in the Imagination Pavilion, which is builders coming late summer.
Yes. And that is the Figment big character, not the little.
Not
Figment.
little Figment, like
big Figment. Like 8-foot Figment.
Proper costumes character.
Proper costume character Figment.
Not little animatronic.
Not little animatronic Figment.
You won't be able to sign because he's not got big arms. Although he's in the T-Rex, isn't he? Sorry.
Not you.
No. I've never seen Figment up close.
The big purple dragon.
It's not Barney.
That's a big purple dinosaur.
I would like to go and meet Figment, please, when we go. And when is late summer?
Late summer, probably August.
That's autumn.
Yes, that's late summer as well. Or
Okay.
July.
All right. Anyway,
July, August.
at some point in the summer, late summer, Figment will be meeting in Epcot in the Imagination Pavilion. See, I can say Imagination.
Food and Wine starts late July.
Oh, so maybe it's.
So I reckon they'll bring them out for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Prediction.
Yeah, and still in Epcot, Mickey Mouse and friends will rehouse themselves to the new communal hall, which is in that back bit. It's not really the back bit.
The back bit.
The back bit. The new revamped bit behind Spaceship Earth.
Oh, are they going back there?
Yes.
Oh,
so
right,
that
okay.
used to be. It was called something else.
Was that the Electric Umbrella restaurant?
No. It used to be the character meeting spot. Don't you remember?
That's what it was called, the character meeting spot. Yeah.
And it's all of that area has been revamped, so they're going back in there. And then, as we mentioned in our, I'm doing that thing we've just done. We mentioned in the last bit of character meet and greet.
In the character meet, character dining and character
in the
meet.
character dining and the character meet episode, which we've recorded prior to this, which is why I'm doing that weird head thing. Mirabelle is going to be meeting where Merida currently meets in the Fairy Tale Garden in the Magic Kingdom. No news on when that'll be, but I'm assuming it's going to be at some point later this year.
Yeah, hopefully. You know, said it's nice to have a change up of characters.
A reshuffle.
Yeah, you know, because obviously if you bring a new character to the park, it brings people back into the parks.
Yeah.
So. Yes.
Yeah, so that concludes the Walt Disney World portion of the news, which is quite long. Not as long as the last lot. That you're looking at you're looking at the time for how long we've been recording for everything, not just for this segment.
Right, okay.
We haven't been recording for this segment for 3 hours. I know it's big news, but it's not that long. Oh dear. So
it's been 84 years.
So we will be back very shortly. So shortly, probably 2 minutes in this case, but in the next segment of this news episode with a bit of SeaWorld news, a little bit of Universal news. I'm trying to keep the Epic Universe news down to a bit diet because otherwise I'll be talking forever.
Can't manage it.
I love a bit of Epic Universe. And some Disneyland Paris news.
Yeah, we have news from Disneyland Paris.
We do have news from Disneyland Paris. Yeah, so we'll see you again soon.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.